Hi there, it's me again, your Lavanya. We are going to continue the thought process on Unmai vilakkam. We have already spoken about 16 songs without the prayer song. Today we are going to talk about the next song, which is more towards the internal organs. Okay, just a small recap of what we have seen so far. The disciple is going to the guru asking for a help in clarifying his doubts or questions. The guru accepts his obligation and he says, obliges to his questions, and he says, yes, you can shoot the question. And the first question the disciple was asking was, what are the 36 tattvam? And we are discussing one after the other right now. We have already seen the 5 elements, which is called as the Panchabhutas or the 5 bhutas, which is also called as the 5 elements, which is earth, water, fire, air and akash, which is space. And then we moved on to the 5 senses, and then we moved on to the 5 sense organs, which is also known as Jnanendriyam. Then until yesterday we were discussing about the 5 organs which is functional organs, which is called as the Kanmendriyam. Today we are going to discuss about the last 4 in Anma Tattvam, which is called as the internal organs. So the 36 tattvams, if you look at it, if you want to draw a mind map, we can actually talk about it something like this. The inside circle will be the 36 tattvam, and 24 tattvams will be called as Anma Tattvam. These are technical terms, so I don't want to find a translation for this and spoil the beauty of it. So it is called as Anma Tattvam, which is basically to see how this physical body is functioning. And again we will talk about the remaining, like there is 7 Vidya Tattvam and all these, we will talk about that later. But 24 Anma Tattvam. When you talk about the 24 Anma Tattvam, it is divided or segregated into 5 bhutas, which is the 5 elements, 5 senses, 5 sense organs and 5 operational or functional organs. And today we are going to talk about the 4 internal organs. What are the internal organs? Something that is not very visibly seen, but it helps a lot in our functioning. And we all know that very well, which is our mind. So we are going to start thinking about the 4 elements right now. The song goes this way. Andhakkaranam adaivey uraikka keel. Andha manam puttiyudan aangaram சிந்தை இவை பற்றியது நிச்சயித்து பல்கால் எழுந்து இருந்து அங்கு உற்றது சிந்திக்கும் உணர். So today the guru is actually talking about the guru is discussing about the 5 internal organs and the functions of the internal organs. So what are the functions? The first one is mind. What is basically this is also called as andhakkaranam. Yeah, the 4 elements that we are going to talk about is called as andhakkaranam, which is andhakkaranam, which is internal organs. So the internal organs are 4, which is mind, intellect, ego and subconscious. So we are going to talk about these 4 now. The first one is mind. What is the function of a mind? It is to go and grasp something. It is to go and feel something and just stay with something. We can see this, for example, right now. We are somewhere in Singapore, but when we think about something in US, our mind is already in US. It travels more faster than light, more faster than our sound waves as well. It is pretty fast. Our mind can be in Australia one minute, the next minute it can go to Antarctic, the other minute it can go to Arctic, the other minute it can go to US, another minute it can go to Kailash. So our mind is the one which is helping to grasp something, just to get on something. Sometimes we will say, my eyes was staring but my mind was not there, I was hearing to you but my mind was not there, so I could not register. Which means in order for the eyes, the nose, the mouth as well as all the 5 sense organs to function, our mind must be in that particular place, in that particular mindset as well. The next one is intellect, which is the power that we call it as the brain power that we are using. This is what we call it as the intellect. And what is the work of intellect? It is to consider whatever the mind has grasped, and then the intellect is going to judge. So the judgmental capacity is given to us by intellect. So there is the second internal organ which is called as intellect, which is going to judge on certain things. The next one we are talking about is ego. The third internal organ is called as ego. The ego is basically to talk about something like, you say, hey, it's my ego, we just bravely get over it. So when you talk about ego, that is more towards making a person get off their stable situation. So the ego is the one which actually stimulates the person's stability or instability as well. And the fourth organ, which is the faculty of memory, which is called as the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is used for thinking through in a much deeper manner. So the 4 organs, internal organs that we are talking about is mind, which goes and first grasp something. The next one is intellect, which judges who is the person, whether it is right or wrong, good, bad, ugly, all those are going to be determined by intellect. And then comes ego, which is to say, yes, I think I need it, or no, I don't think I need it. So a person's stability or instability, mind stability or mind instability is determined by the ego. And the last one is the subconscious mind, which is a faculty of memory, which is more towards focusing on something, focusing on some of the areas that we have seen or we have smelt or something. That is going to be done based on the subconscious mind. Now, one thing we have to understand over here is the physical body that we are talking about is also called as Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya, all these are technical terms. Sorry guys, I really don't have a translation for these. These are technical terms that we have to just go through it. Even though these are not Tamil words, we still need to remember these. It is called as Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha means the body which is made of literally the flesh and blood, which is made because of our food. Annam means food. Whatever the body that is made of food is called as Annamaya Kosha. This is the physical body. There are totally 5 bodies for any soul. A soul, when it is taking birth, it is given only the physical body, but the remaining 4 bodies are permanently with it until the point of realization. When a soul is getting realization, the remaining 4 dresses will be removed. We call this body as a dress. The physical body that we have is a dress. So when we die, it simply means only our dress is going to change, but there is no death for the soul. Soul is it's always going to be there. It is permanent. It is ever prevalent in this particular planet, or rather in this particular universe. So the first one is the Annamaya Kosha, which is the outside body. A little bit inside, we have the Pranamaya Kosha, which is more towards, it is also called as Puri Attakayam, which is made of 8 elements. So the Pranamaya Kosha is made of the breath. So if your breathing techniques are proper, if your breath is proper, which means your Pranamaya Kosha is healthy. The third one is called as manomaya kosha. This is what we are calling it as adisukuma sariram or guna shariram. Guna shariram means it is manomaya kosha, which is basically made of mind. And one level deeper than that is vijnanamaya kosha, which is the inner blissful state of the soul. So the inner blissful state of the soul is called as vijnanamaya kosha, and the inner self is called as anandamaya kosha, and that is always going to be in a happy blissful state. So the first body that the soul is attaining is called as anandamaya kosha. Immediately after that, there is one tattvam which is called as purudan is included. When the puruda tattvam is included, it is called as vijnanamaya kosha, and then there is something called as adisukama sarira or manomaya kosha, where mind comes in. We will talk about the details after we are discussing couple more songs. We will go into the details, but I am just introducing you to the technical terms because it will be more easier for us to understand. That is the reason. And then pranamaya kosha, and the outside body, the physical body that we are seeing, whatever we are able to see in the other person, that is called as annamaya kosha. So the body that we are talking about is not just one physical body, rather there are 5 layers to it. And when we die, when we pass over, what is going away from us is only the annamaya kosha. And when we take a rebirth, what is given to us is only the annamaya kosha. Depending on an elephant or a crocodile or a pig or a dog or a cat or whatever, or even a human being, the physical body is given later, and that is what we call it as annamaya kosha. We will stop with this here because I don't want to complicate too much. Just remember there are 24 Anma Tattvam, in which we spoke about the 5 elements, the 5 senses, the 5 sense organs, which is also called as Jnanendriyangal, and then we spoke about 5 functional organs, which is called as Kanmendriyangal, and in today's song we spoke about the 4 internal organs. I'll come back again with the next song very soon. Until then, bye bye.